According to Latter-day Saint theology, seer stones were believed to have been used by Joseph Smith, as well as ancient prophets, to receive revelations from God. Members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, LDS Church, believe that Smith used seer stones to translate the Book of Mormon. 1-2. Seer stones are mentioned in the Book of Mormon and the Book of Mosiah, where they are also called interpreters and described as being used by seers to translate and receive revelations. The term Urim and Thummim is usually used by Latter-day Saints members to refer to the interpreters mentioned in the Book of Mormon. Some Latter-day Saints use the term Urim and Thummim and seer stones interchangeably. 3. Smith owned at least 2 seer stones, which he had earlier employed for treasure seeking before he founded the church. 4. Other early Mormons, such as Hiram Page, David Whitmer, and Jacob Whitmer, also owned seer stones. 5. Some early 19th century Americans used seer stones in attempts to gain revelations from God or to find buried treasure. 6. From about 1819, Smith regularly practiced scrying, a form of divination in which a seer looked into a seer stone to receive supernatural knowledge. 7. Smith's usual procedure was to place the stone in a white stovepipe hat, put his face over the hat to block the light, and see the necessary information in the stone's reflections. 8, 9, 10. Smith and his father achieved something of a mysterious local reputation in the profession, mysterious because there is no record that they ever found anything despite the readiness of some local residents to pay for their efforts. 11. In late 1825, Josiah Stowell, a well-to-do farmer from South Bainbridge, Shenango County, New York, was searching for a lost Spanish mine near Harmony Township, Susquehanna County, Pennsylvania with another seer. Stowell traveled to Manchester to hire Smith on account of having heard that he possessed certain keys, by which he could discern things invisible to the natural eye. 12. Smith worked with the Stowell-Hale team for approximately 1 month, attempting, according to their contract, to locate a valuable mine of either gold or silver and also, coined money and bars or ingots of gold or silver. 13. According to an uncorroborated account by Hale, Smith attempted to locate the mine by burying his face in a hat containing the seer stone. However, as the treasure hunters got close to their objective, Smith said that an enchantment became so strong that Smith could no longer see it. 14. The failed project disbanded on November 17, 1825. 15. However, Smith continued to work for Stowell on other matters until 1826. Citation needed. In 1826, Smith was arrested and brought to court in Bainbridge, New York, on the complaint of Stowell's nephew who accused Smith of being a disorderly person and an impostor. 16. Court records show that Smith, identified as the Glass Looker, stood before the court on March 20, 1826, on a warrant for an unspecified misdemeanor charge. 17. And that the judge issued a mittimus for Smith to be held, either during or after the proceedings. 18. Although Smith's associate Oliver Cowdery later stated that Smith was honorably acquitted. 19. The result of the proceeding is unclear, with some claiming he was found guilty, others claiming he was condemned but designedly allowed to escape, and yet others, including the trial note taker, claiming he was discharged for lack of evidence. 18. Martin Harris said that Smith once found a pin in a pile of shavings with the aid of a stone. 20. Smith had at least 2 seer stones, including a white stone that he found in about 1819, and a chocolate-colored stone that he found in 1822. 21, 22, 23. His favored stone, chocolate-colored and about the size of an egg, was found in a deep well he helped dig for one of his neighbors. In 1827, Smith said he obtained the Urim and Thummim, which was composed of 2 white stones, different from the previous 2. 24. In 1823, Smith said that an angel told him of the existence of golden plates along with 2 stones in silver bows fastened to a breastplate that the angel said God had prepared for translating the plates. 25. In dictating the Book of Mormon, Smith said he used these interpreters, which he later referred to as Urim and Thummim. 26. Smith's wife, Emma, said that Smith used the Urim and Thummim to translate the lost 116 pages of the manuscript, but that Smith translated the published Book of Mormon using the single chocolate-colored stone 27, that he had previously used in treasure quests. 28. David Whitmer said, regarding Smith's translation of the Book of Mormon, Joseph Smith put the seer stone into a hat, and put his face in the hat, drawing it closely around his face to exclude the light, and in the darkness the spiritual light would shine. A piece of something resembling parchment would appear, and on that appeared the writing. One character at a time would appear, and under it was the interpretation in English. Brother Joseph would read off the English to Oliver Cowdery, who was his principal scribe, and when it was written down and repeated to Brother Joseph to see if it was correct, then it would disappear, and another character with the interpretation would appear. Thus the Book of Mormon was translated by the gift and power of God, and not by any power of man. Other early Mormons, among whom were Jacob and David Whitmer, Philo Dibble, W. W. Phelps, and Elizabeth Ann Whitney, valued seer stones. In 1830, Hiram Page, one of the 8 witnesses to the Book of Mormon, stated he had a series of revelations through a black seer stone. Citation needed. After Smith announced that these revelations were of the devil, Page agreed to discard the stone which, according to a contemporary, was broke to powder and the writings burnt. 29. Apparently, the apostasy of some early Mormon believers can be traced to Smith's move away from the use of seer stones. The Whitmer family, devoted to their importance, later said their disenchantment with Mormonism began when Joseph Smith stopped using his seer stone as an instrument of revelation. 30. In November 1837, the Kirtland High Council disfellowshipped 11-year-old James C. Brewster, his parents, and several associates for claiming that he had the gift of seeing and looking through or into a stone. 31. Nevertheless, some Mormons continued to believe in the power of seer stones. 32. After Smith's death, Brigham Young endorsed their use. In 1855, he reminisced, "Joseph said there is a seer stone for every person on earth." At the first General Conference after Smith's death, Young declared, "The President of the Priests has a right to the Urim and Thummim, which gives revelation." 33. James Strang, who led a small breakaway group after Smith's death, proclaiming himself Smith's successor, claimed he unearthed ancient metal plates, known as the Vori plates, and translated them using a seer stone. In the Book of Mormon, prophets such as the brother of Jared and Mosiah used devices called interpreters to receive revelation for their people, and the Doctrine and Covenants declares these interpreters to have been Urim and Thummim. 34. The LDS Church teaches that the Urim and Thummim used by Smith and the Book of Mormon were the functional equivalent of the Urim and Thummim mentioned in the Old Testament. There is no indication whether or not the Old Testament Urim and Thummim were used to translate documents. 35. Some church members believe that there were 3 different Urim and Thummim, the one of the Old Testament and 2 mentioned in the Book of Mormon, one used by the Jaredites and the other by King Mosiah. 36. The church teaches that the one used by Smith is the one originally possessed by the Jaredites. 37.